Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Get out of the car?
Yes, sir.
That's another great question.
Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air. It's AG Today.
Hey, I'm Gary Edelman.
Hi, this is Caroline Janey, and you are live on Addressing Gettysburg.
You're listening to
No, God!
Gettysburg Today.
No, God, please, no! No! No!
They should visit a nice buffet.
Today was sad.
No, hello, everybody. Hello. You know, something bothering me today. I think my socks don't match. And it's just been bugging me. Like,
It's making your feet hurt.
It is, but it isn't. You know, like, there's no reason that it should hurt, right?
No.
But in my head, because they don't match, it hurts.
Somatics, man.
I think you might be a little crazy.
You think?
Let me check. Let me see your socks. You're only now.
Well, they're both white. And they're both the same length.
Take your shoes off.
Ugh, no. Then I got to tie them and get them on. It's a whole process.
You are so old.
Yeah, I know.
Wear slip-ons, dude. That's what all the youngsters
then
are doing.
I'm giving in. I'm trying to fight the aging. You know? What?
Nothing.
Go ahead. What?
I was going to tell you what I did this week.
Hey, you know what I forgot to do today?
What?
Somebody in the back, if you don't mind, can you go to the printer and hand me the papers in the printer? I forgot my itinerary.
Rude.
I printed it out today. Thank you, Debris.
Debris.
I was going to say Deborah,
Thank
but
you,
she
Debris.
gets very upset. You call her Deborah.
What
Nobody
did we
tried
call
to
you,
shoot
Debris?
us or anything.
What's that? Now, what happened?
She said I would be entertained by that if we called her Debris.
Debris.
Yeah.
Hey, Debris.
That's how my husband says debris.
Debris?
Debris.
It's like how Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas calls Ray Liotta's character Hendry.
What's it supposed to be?
How you doing, Hendry? I'm Tommy.
What's it
Henry.
supposed to? Oh.
You never heard that? People call Henry's Hendry?
I've never watched Goodfellas, no.
Young Guns 2, Henry
No.
William French.
Never
Henry
saw that
William
either.
French, no. Well, that's a shame.
I don't
Yeah.
watch movies that are going to make me cry or that there is a lot of violence that I'm going to be nervous about.
That's all I want.
Yeah, me too. Crying violence. I prefer to watch movies where I'm crying while violence is going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
like,
Titanic, the end of Titanic. Or Saving Private Ryan.
Oh my God. Can we talk about Titanic real quick?
Sure.
or Runaway Bride.
Or My Best Friend's Wedding.
Oh my God. The worst. Okay. So when I went and saw Titanic the first time, it was, 1997?
Yeah.
I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So we went, and I got in trouble because I wasn't yet old enough to go see it. So I went into the movie theater and came home, told Mom all about this movie, and she was like, okay, we have to go see it.
Okay.
So we went and saw it with Mom the second time, And we're in the movie theater, and there are these two older women who I know from my church sitting behind us. Now, this is in Clarion. Sitting behind us in church. And the one woman turned to the other woman and said, "It's okay. They don't all die. They've got life vests. They're fine. Don't worry."
Plenty to go around.
Yeah.
And then the ship is filling. And you see that thing in the boiler room where it goes like all head full.
Yeah.
The thing, okay, that they pull.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, look at all those slot machines. The people on the Titanic must have been huge gamblers."
Stop that.
No, I'm honest to God serious.
That's nonsense.
No, honest to God serious. And Mom turns to me and she goes, "I'll give you a quarter if you turn around and tell him to shut up."
That can't
my
be
version.
right. That can't be right.
100, I swear to God. That's exactly what happened.
How could you be that stupid?
Well, that Mom said they were on they were old enough to have been on the Titanic. Like,
But maybe not on the bridge or the boiler room. So,
true, they never saw those parts.
Yeah. And they thought it was a slot machine. Because, I'm the officer of the watch or whatever they call it, and I hear iceberg dead ahead. So I'm like, well, let me go and play the slots first.
I know
And
they
then we'll do
blatantly
something.
use it in the movie.
It's like, ching, chong, ching. Yeah. Stop. Full astern.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. They were old.
Let me go
ladies.
play the penny slots.
Yeah. They
Before
were
I
such
tell the
gamblers.
captain.
And I don't know why whenever I tell that story, I tried not to do it this time because of you. I try not to do it, but I always give them a New Jersey accent whenever I'm talking.
It's quite all right. I would do the same thing.
There was such gamblers on the Titanic.
Usually, if it's either a woman that gets on my nerves or a guy that I think is a gavone, I do a Jersey accent. A slob, a pig,
okay.
It's or just a dopey ass. I'll do a Jersey accent for either one of them. I don't know why, but it's New York, New Jersey. It's that 20 miles outside the city radius there.
Well, I am not within that radius.
No, I know.
I'm within that radius of Pittsburgh, maybe.
Right. Well,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that Pittsburgh accent.
Downtown.
Downtown. You want to get a sandwich?
sandwich.
Yins or Ewins?
We have a couple of new.
My grandma says Ewins.
Does she?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, she's probably watching now.
Oh, hi, Granny.
Hi, Grandma.
What do you call her? Granny? Nana?
Graham. She's
Graham.
92.
Hi, Graham. 92 years young.
92 years young.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Eleanor.
Aw.
Ellie.
Eleanor G, I think you're swell.
Your mom.
Your mom?
No,
How
your
dare
mom.
you? What?
She commented.
Oh.
She said, "Beth, I thought you were doing me."
Matt, not true.
What's that?
I wasn't doing you, Joyce. I think you're wonderful.
Big balls.
It says at the Beth, I thought you were doing me. Matt, not true.
What not true?
I don't know. I didn't write it. Robert Downey Jr.
So we've got so I've got one of my pages here is called The Lads, and it's Eric, the producer, Court, Colby, Pete, some Lentz, but Lentz is in other pages as well. I am almost out. Gary Edelman's on here. I am almost out of spaces. Court is filling this board. I don't care what he says today. There is a moratorium on putting Court on the board. I have no room. Eric, the producer, has been. He's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. There's the classic "Unmute Me." Unmute me. There's this one. Okay. There's his evil laugh.
Which I've never heard you play.
I rarely play this one. I do, but I sneak it in to make it, be kind of condescending to
I must have
laughing
thought it was
under.
somebody
Yeah,
else.
because people talk over it. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's supposed to just, Eric coughing.
Okay.
And then this one.
Well, better your nose than another orifice.
Orifice.
Yeah, and then this. That's all that's left. But now, so Corby, we've got this one here.
They should visit a nice buffet.
All right, we've got this one. This is called Court Laugh, Debbie Cough.
Poor Poor Debbie.
God,
I wonder why I ended up at urgent care.
We're gonna get there, Deb. We'll get there. Hold on.
Bethany, you can't do it. Just leave him alone. Yeah, just let the man live. God.
What were we even talking about there?
I don't even know.
He wasn't.
You were giving me a hard time for something.
And that's classic Larry David. He's can't a mother live a life?
I don't remember that.
He wasn't driving into houses. 1 minute.
I like that.
1 minute.
It sounds like a crazy old man. Grandpa, you've been on the toilet for 45 minutes. Are you coming to dinner?
1 minute.
We need to have like Court do canned lines like, get off my lawn.
Oh, God. Then there's this one.
30 seconds. That's Saving Private Ryan. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Oh, this is a good one.
Here comes a tour bus.
All right.
Okay.
That works.
I have to go to the bathroom, man.
It's so mean that you continue to record. It's so mean.
That was during the break. Like, what do you need, a hall pass?
I have to go to the bathroom, man. I have to go to the bathroom, man.
All right. Here's his evil laugh. And now I have two Bethany gasps, but here's Court. His
That is
isn't
a good
as-
one.
His isn't as sharp as yours is.
Whoa.
We had those already, but then there's a couple of others where I moved down here. We got this one.
John Mellencamp. I was hoping you had that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm a big John Mellencamp fan.
Then there's this.
Nothing good will come of this.
That is a good one.
And they'll never be welcome back.
Okay, there's that. Oh, this classic. Wait. Okay.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
There's that.
Nobody tried to shoot us or anything.
And
It was during our date. I ate almost an entire pizza.
What is it with you and the like breathy end to the words? It's
I
so
don't
funny.
know.
And here's his butthead laugh.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Where are they located?
And of course, this classic song. Gold is Papalula, baby, what I say.
Big balls.
All right, and then and then there's this one here. These are always helpful when a joke doesn't land, and you do this.
Poor Lens.
It's not just Mike.
Just goes on and on and on.
Okay, then you got this one. Whoops, sorry.
What are we doing?
Pretty sure you can make an entire laugh track just out of Mike.
I know. And that. Okay, so now.
Ran into Mike this weekend after
Did
the
you
Get Out
really?
car tour.
That's why he's walking with a limp.
Yeah, he was at the visitor center, and
Okay.
I said 6 questions, and he turned immediately. And I was with Mom because Mom was there. She saved a life this weekend, by the way.
Good for your mom.
So
Was it a good life?
it was.
Was it worth saving?
Mom was like, he looks like he gives great hugs.
Okay.
So she said,
It's probably some sort of pervert.
my mom?
No,
Probably.
the guy.
No, Mike.
Oh.
Anyway, so you.
I didn't know that was the life she saved. I'm sorry. Michael's not a pervert.
Wait,
No.
she saved Mike's life?
Yeah. No.
Oh, wait.
No.
I'm so confused. All right, what happened?
We ran into Mike.
Start the story anew.
We ran into Mike at the MVC.
Mike who?
Mom was Mike Lenz.
Of course.
We were at the MVC. There was a gajillion people there.
Right.
Mom was with us. I gave him a hug.
Okay.
Mom said, he looks like he gives great hugs.
Right.
And that was the end of that story. Then the next story was there was a guy who accidentally tripped and fell in the bathroom at the MVC and split his head open, and Mom had to go into nurse mode.
Give stitches.
She didn't have to give stitches,
Okay,
but she had to go into nurse mode. And that's crazy to see.
Yeah. With blood?
No, my mother in nurse mode.
Because she's a different person.
Yeah.
She's not your mother anymore.
She stopped being Mary Ellen. Yeah.
Yep. Which I know. That's what happens. All right. So I got a wonderful email. I'd like to read it to you.
Okay.
Okay. Matt. We would like to invite you to present a program for the Grand Army of the Republic Civil War Museum via Zoom at 1 p.m. on any of the following Sundays, November 2nd. We will need a program title, description, and your brief bio. The museum program coordinator will contact you to set up the program. Programs run 30 to 40 minutes, followed by an optional Q&A. Recording and posting on our YouTube channel is optional. Thank you. Previous programs are available at et cetera, et cetera. Thank you. GAR Museum Board of Directors.
That's awesome.
So my auto reply went out to them.
Oh, geez.
And to my auto reply, I got this. Matt, we were trying to send the invitation to present a program to Matt Atkinson. Joe. Thank you.
That's worse.
It's like, I don't even, how do you confuse those email addresses? I don't know. But
that wasn't nice.
I had a good laugh at that.
They should have.
They should have made space for you after that.
Yeah.
No. Why would they do that?
I would.
First of all, the first thing I said to Cindy when I read it was, I don't have a program to do. And she's like, well, you could put one together. And I'm like, come on.
No, you could.
The only program I could put together is talking about myself. Let's be honest.
But you could talk to people about how to do. Yeah, I know what you were going to do. Matt.
I can't do Navin Johnson.
So, I do think, though, that you could do a really good program about, bringing history to the masses and how that works.
Well, I'll see how that works at CWI, because that's what we're talking about at CWI, which I'm going to do on a panel, and I'll wing it with more professional and profound people than myself, and see if anything. What
Are
happened?
these new?
No, why? What's wrong?
It's driving me nuts.
What's
they
wrong?
Make my ears itchy.
Oh, that's because of the pollen.
Oh, okay.
I rammed them through a pile of pollen on the hood
Grant's
of my car.
back.
Oh, Grant's back. Good. I was going to talk about that, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh,
anyway,
wait, he took his comment back. Never mind.
well, he does that just because he says things and then he'll rewrite it and then send it again.
Grant, we love you. We love you, Grant.
Courtney, you're a musician, right?
Mm-hmm.
Musicians in the audience, especially the drummers. What is it with the stupid-looking cymbals that you got nowadays? What can't you just? What happened to the classic
What are you
drum
talking
cymbals?
about?
Cymbals.
Yeah, but what are you talking about
Cowbell.
that they're stupid looking?
I got a fever. What?
That was good.
The only cure is
Good.
more
More
cowbell. All right. Why? Do you know what I'm talking about, Court?
No, because
there's like the wavy ones. There's like
you mean like the hammered finish ones?
the hammered finish one, but no. Like they're literally wavy. It's not like a nice smooth round cymbal. It's like wavy. Then there's the little ones, the tiny little splash cymbals and everything like that. And I'm starting to think that drummers today are just pricks because like they pick the dumbest cymbals. Like just stick with your classic cymbal. Those little things, they only make you feel cool. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. Only musicians. There's like probably 2 musicians in the entire audience.
Listen,
they'll understand that.
Listen, I know things.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know about cymbals.
I don't know about that.
All right, well, we'll move on.
But I know other things.
All right, listen. The second anniversary show was in the bag.
Da da da.
And it went very well, I thought. Louis Trott was the guest of honor. 6 questions. You were there. What'd you think?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Great.
First one or second one? Which one did you have more fun at?
They're both different, so it's hard to pick one.
They were both different. Different room.
I like the second one the most because of the diversity of opinions and people who were there. There are more of them, and so it was really a fun conversation with a lot more people.
Yeah.
I think the second group probably understood the assignment. You know, now that you've done one.
Well, and I put the audio out to the patrons.
Yeah, they understood.
And so they to give them an idea of what to expect. And then Court actually helped me warm up the crowd by playing on his hands. Of course, we didn't get that recorded because nobody thought to run the cameras, but he did this.
And in the back.
And he also did Come On Eileen.
No,
Right?
I almost did. I did What a Wonderful World.
Oh, What a Wonderful
It's
World.
World famous director Bo Brinkman listening to Grant do.
Grant.
Or Court do that on his hands.
He loves it. Yeah. You should hear him play along to Make Me Smile by Chicago. That's what he's doing before.
That's a good one.
Anyway, it went really well. I'm waiting on the footage from Dan, but it was nice too because Dan was there. And we had 5 cameras this time. So we got
nice.
Full coverage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to look like it's going to take forever to edit, but it'll look pretty professional. So that'll be good. Court did 1 camera. Dan manned 2 cameras. Cindy manned the other one.
Go Cindy.
That's right. Cindy sat over there and manned the camera. Right, Cam? Right, Cam? You Cindy the camera, ma'am? And
I'm very proud of you for trying something so new and stepping out of your comfort zone. I really am proud of you.
Thank you. I hope the audience likes it. That's all I hope.
I think they will.
Because there's more. There's other ideas.
Yeah.
Different settings, but same idea where everybody's. The tricky part is dissuading people that they are there to listen to someone present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard.
Right, Mike?
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter how many times I say, I want you to discuss, like, you guys, we want to hear what you have to say. Lewis or Jim is here. Can you turn the speaker down just a touch so that echo goes away? Or the feedback. There you go. Just a touch. That's all. There you go. Perfect. So, they're there to kind of bounce our analyses off or our ideas or notions.
But you want the crowd to do most of the talking.
I want the crowd to do most of the talking. I want to hear from the crowd. And because I find it to be interesting, like everybody's take on things. And then, the guide or the historian, whoever we have, is kind of there for them to say, Lewis, I always thought like Lee, blah, 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 blah. But is it more that or is it more Lee, ta, 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 ta? And then Lewis will say something, what he thinks. Yeah, something intelligent. And
experts have been great, but Lewis on Saturday, he really did understand the assignment. He really was good as that expert who could bounce ideas off of the crowd and the crowd could bounce ideas off of him.
Yeah. I'm very pleased with it, and I think the audience is really coming through.
Yeah.
And we have Ron in the back there. Hey, Ron, how are you?
Hello, everybody.
And Ron took the guide exam, right, Ron?
Da.
Why do you continue to torment me, man?
We're just proud of you.
I'm going somewhere with this, Ron.
Oh, okay.
You took the guide exam, and you did not feel good about it at all, and you didn't even come back after lunch, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And you are coming to the show on Saturday.
Yes.
And now here's your opportunity to maybe, like, anything that was on the guide exam relating to day 3 that you might have had problems with or whatever. You can ask Jim Hessler and be like, hey, Jim, this stupid guide exam written by Martians, asked this question. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember. Is there one question that's just plaguing you, Ron, that you didn't get but you knew you should have gotten? There's about 50 for me.
George House.
The George House.
Oh.
He couldn't remember the name George twice.
I'm telling you, see.
And that's the thing, but he knew it, right?
But
and then afterwards, you knew.
It puts
like
so much
you knew the
pressure
right
on
answer.
people,
How soon after?
Almost immediately when I walked out to the parking
Yeah, exactly.
lot.
Right. But anyway, I think this will be, an environment. Who fell? Is everybody okay? I think this will be an environment where people can not be afraid to say, I don't know. And, the idea is to get answers. The idea is to learn.
Did you have a warm up before you press record?
Yeah, it was Court doing this.
But really, I'm being serious. Did you have a warm up?
I talked to the audience.
But a chance for them to almost warm up and get out of their shell. That
we sat around and talked. We, cracked jokes and things like that. And, yeah.
A couple of them were warmed up by wearing the T-shirts of a competing podcast.
Of what?
Of a competing podcast.
Oh. Yeah, they wore them to the Get Out of the Car tour in the morning, too. Yes, I noticed that. For years.
Yeah.
It was, people did it at first as a joke.
Yeah.
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 At first. But, yeah.
Here, wait, I'm going to do this blatantly.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice product placement.
No, whatever. People wear whatever they wear and they think they're being cute. And I go along, I play the joke or whatever, I play along with it. And when they showed up at the tour in the morning, I said, "Hey guys," and I had little notebooks with our logo on it to hand out.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah. And so I'm handing them out. I'm like, "Hey guys," and actually I went up to one of them and I just looked her right in the eye and I said, "Do you wear my T-shirt at their events?" Because the answer is no. People don't do the other way around. I know this.
Uh-huh.
And I wonder what is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
What's the motive? I don't know.
I also
know,
really don't have the time to care. So, as long as they're coming.
Now, I will say I have accidentally done that before. I went to a football game one time with the wrong team's colors on.
Really?
Because I honestly wasn't paying attention.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done that.
I just don't know enough about football. Really the thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
No, it's okay. There's I don't know. What did it bother you, Court? Is that why you brought that up?
I just thought it was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just, whatever.
Yeah, I don't really give it much thought. I
wore a shirt that said John Brown did nothing wrong.
You did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Which was funny to watch you wear that shirt while playing Fart Hands. And then you gave a bow at the end of your performance. But people applauded.
I think John Brown has never been
more popular.
Well, no, I just more proud in his life. Maybe. And I'm speaking.
He's smiling down from heaven.
Look at my legacy.
Right. Look what I did.
Yeah.
There's some great history nerd T-shirts out there.
There really are. There are.
Bo and Chris did one that was like pancakes and small mouth.
Yeah.
And I bought one, and I was like, I wear this all the time.
You did a wet T-shirt contest, Bo?
Oh,
remember?
Pancakes.
Okay, and now so
I bought it for my sister. That's the only line she remembers from that movie.
Because she only got that far.
No.
Oh.
She has watched it with me. These are agreements that we have. She watches that, and I have to do.
What do you have to watch?
Well, when we were little, it was I had to play house with her or whatever. She got to watch Gettysburg. I had to play house.
Oh.
Yes.
Isn't that something?
So we played Civil War house.
I was pretty nerdy, but never that nerdy.
Oh, the Confederates would come and we would karate chop them.
Karate chopping Confederates.
As our brothers were off to war.
Karate.
And then the rebels would come and we would karate chop them in our hoop skirts. And you think I'm kidding. It's honest to God truth. Call Mallory.
What'd you say, Bo?
And then they rape the shit out of you.
Bo! We didn't go that far.
The hell is wrong with you?
We
this
were
is being
little.
broadcast to churches around the country.
And we were little.
What's wrong with that?
Jesus, Court.
Uh-oh.
More people are here.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Everybody better be coming to dinner tonight. Okay. So another thing I need to tell you all, get out of the tar cores. Get out of the car tours clarifications here, okay? For May 17th, somebody pointed out to me the website said May 24th in the title, May 17th in the description. I didn't know which one it was, so I called Matt Borders down at Monopoly. Do you have us for the 17th or the 24th? He said the 17th.
Oh.
Well, he said, yeah, 17th. And I said, okay. And so we changed it. It is the 17th. That is the third Thursday of the month. I think May has 5. Sorry, not Thursday, Saturday. I think May has 5, if I'm not mistaken. Which, yeah, that might make sense. So just be aware of that if you're planning on coming to Monocacy. It's also co-hosted with our friends Darren and Mare over at the Civil War Breakfast Club. Yay. So
that was cute.
Thanks. So we'll be down there and everything like that. That tour is free. Soon to be on the June tours thingamabob is a link to tickets for our Brandy Station tour,
Yay.
which is in June. The Great Six Questions Lens is going to do he's tag teaming it with Tracy Bear. And so the two of them, and so I have to pay 2 guides, so I'm charging for this one, and I don't know, there's no permit thing or whatever, so it's a lot easier to do this. I try to keep the price low so that I can make up the fee and also a little extra money for the friggin' work that I do on this shit. Yeah. And so they're just a very nominal fee of $800 a person. So no, it's not $800 a person. It's like 40, I think, or something like that. 48 or 49, maybe 90, maybe 100, maybe 150. I'm not sure. So either way, that will be up soon. My website guy had a family issue to take care of. So yeah. So he will get that as soon as possible, or ASAP.
I'm super excited to see 6 Questions kind of in his element.
Yes, me too, actually. Also, September 27th tour is given by Scott Hartwig. It's at Antietam. We're going to do the West Woods, I believe. And that is a fundraiser for the George Tyler Moore Center and the Digital History Pioneers. So after you go on the lovely tour with Scott, we're going to go to Shepherdstown. We're going to go to the, it's not Oscar Schindler. It's I forget who the,
Oscar.
Is it George? I forget the first name. The Schindler House.
I think it's Oscar.
It
No,
is not Oscar Schindler.
I think it is.
Who's the Mike? Do you know who the Schindler is, or Debbie? Do you know who the forget it. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the Schindler House, which is the George Tyler Moore's office, center's office. We're gonna have light fare and refreshments there by MJ. I think it's called MJ's Deli or M&J's Deli, something right down the road there. Cindy and I went and ate there. It's delicious, delicious food. Okay, delicious. Probably the best food you'll ever. Michael Jackson's Deli. A lot of people don't know he's not dead. He faked it, and he's living in Shepherdstown.
Wow,
perfect cover.
Wow,
because he blends right in.
You know who actually lived in Shepherdstown at one time?
Mary Tyler Moore's dad. Mr. Mary Tyler Moore.
Burt Bacharach.
Burt Bacharach.
Oh, my God.
Why did he live in Shepherdstown?
I'm not sure, but for a while he had like a farm.
He got lost, and that's when he penned the song, Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
Because I don't know where I am.
Get me out of this town. Do you know the way? So that is interesting, Burt Bacharach. And I got to tell you something. If I have to live in a town again, I think I want to live in that town.
It's beautiful.
A very cute
It is a gorgeous town. The houses are nice. The neighborhoods are nice. It's a small town. It's a quaint town.
I wonder if it's like Gettysburg, where when you're in town, it's freakishly expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
Those houses don't look. I mean,
they don't look cheap.
It's a small town. It's essentially on the river. You know, I'm sure it's expensive.
But if it's like normal house expensive, or if it's historic area. expensive.
It depends. I looked there as recently as like 5 months ago.
Oh,
and
wow.
some of the houses were reasonably priced. And if you wanted one that was like a full-on National Register of Historic Places home, it was pretty...
$20 million.
It was.
They're so nice, though. Really like stately looking houses.
It's almost like a... like a Charleston.
You would need a gardener.
Parts of Savannah. Like
Savannah.
You walk down a street and it's like...
There's been a murder in Savannah.
There's been a murder and you are a suspect.
I do declare. Michael, you don't have to keep saying I do declare. Anyway, not you, Mike.
What's Oscar say? They're giving us some greenbacks. They give us some seeds.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, the greenbacks. Michael, I can't do this. Yeah, The Office. Did you ever watch The Office?
No.
Yeah,
oh, come on, come on. You're really missing out on some great stuff there.
I can't watch it. It makes me nervous. I know that it's fake, but it feels too real, and I start to get nervous.
That's why I love it. All right, but listen, let me finish here. The 27th of September, fundraiser, tour, meet and greet with Scott Hartwig afterwards, and light fare and refreshment back in Shepherdstown. Actually, I think it's Shepherdstown. And what was the point I wanted to make? We're waiting. Scott's in, I think, England, so we're waiting for him to get back. I have a couple questions for him about how to proceed with the book. My question is, do you want to? Because I figure most of the people who are going to do the tour, yes, most of the people who are going to do the tour have the book already, right? I'm going to assume.
Oh, okay.
And so they can bring the book and have him sign him. But for the people who don't have his book, I'm going to say you can either bring books and sell them and sign them, or we can just provide everybody with a book. And if people get a second copy of the book, they can gift it. They could do whatever they want. I like to have a signed copy and a reading copy, right? So maybe some people are like that. I don't know. I'm going to see what he thinks, because depending on which way he answers, that affects the
and it's not a bus,
price. Correct?
They drive down there themselves.
No, everybody's on their own. We're parking. So whatever the ticket price is going to be, we have a cute price in mind, which was, but we'll see. We're going to cover your parking because you have to pay for parking there. So we'll cover parking at Antietam, that is. We can't get a straight answer as to whether or not we need a CUA.
Oh.
I have been told by one ranger there we do. Jen Murray was told by the one who actually is in charge of all that stuff we don't. I don't know the answer.
I don't either.
So I'm going to have to find out and dig a little deeper. If we do, and if they do it the way they do it here, which I don't imagine they wouldn't, then it's not going to be cheap. So we got to see what we can do. So there's still things we're trying to figure out. That's why we don't have the, and the other thing is that the tickets can't be purchased through Addressing Gettysburg. They have to be purchased through one of the nonprofits. Our nonprofit is new, so we're still setting things up. George Tyler Moore, when they have an event, you still have to go download the event sign-up sheet and print it out and fill it out and put it in an envelope with a check and send it in order to go to an event. That's changing now that Jen's there. So I said, okay, well, that's going to take longer for you guys to get that squared away. So we need it anyway because we're going to have other events.
Yeah.
So Tim and I have been kind of working back and forth. Tim found a third-party thing that...
Like Eventbrite or something.
It's not Eventbrite. It's called betterworld.org.
Okay.
And they're for nonprofits. And they also have things in there to help you but like advertise or promote your stuff.
Oh, nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. You should probably look into it at the foundation. Something like that. That would be too smart. Never mind. So...
Are you trying to say that
I'm not saying anything about you. No. And what was the other thing? Oh, so that's why we don't have all the details up. That's why we don't have the signups up yet and all that.
Work out.
Yeah. So we've got some things to work out. Please be patient and forgive us. There you go.
But at least you have the dates and you can put that on your calendar.
You do have the dates. Let me give you those dates again. May 17th, Monocacy. June 21st, Mike Lentz, Tracy Bear. We call it 6Q and the Bear. They're doing St. James Church at Brandy Station, and September 27th is Scott Hartwig at Antietam, followed by a lovely meet and greet thing, and it's a fundraiser. You're going to help out two wonderful nonprofits who get it. Let's put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we get it. We get what the future is going to be. You know what I'm saying? We get the future. We're not living in the past. We're not living in the 20th century.
Except for the occasional slip into 1863 or whatever.
We skip between 1863 and 2025.
Like Back to the Future Part 2. That's where we're living.
We're in the middle, like part 2.
Yeah.
We know what the future's going to be. It's going to be casinos,
flying cars,
and fallen mothers of the main character.
Bethany, we got a sports almanac. And let me just say, we're going to start placing some bets and things.
I like it.
So,
don't you wish that was a real thing?
Every day.
That's why I can't watch the second one, because I want that to be real.
Yeah. It sucks.
Oh, God. All right. So listen. That's that. Now, our guests today are Bo Brinkman and Kris Webb. They're in here to talk about their very successful Cinema Under the Stars out at Seminary Ridge. It was a lot of fun last year. I noticed I wasn't consulted this year on the choices of the movies, but that's okay. I still approve of the ones that they chose without me. Consulted. We've talked about it over dinner. But it seems like it was already decided when we had that conversation.
Okay.
But whatever. You don't need to consult me on everything. Just the fun things. Yeah. So anyway, we'll give them a hard time about that, and we'll be back after these words with our buddies Bo and Kris and the Gettysburg Film Commission.
We'll be right back with Matt and Bethany.
Digital History Pioneers Foundation, we are about grassroots history on digital platforms. That means we are about podcasters, documentarians, YouTubers, and even TikTokers. All of these creators are out there trying to share their love of history with the public. They don't need ideas, they need funding, both from viewers and corporate donors. DH Pioneers' initial funding focus is on the Civil War era, with a special emphasis on the Addressing Gettysburg podcast. So be a vital part of the unique content Addressing Gettysburg has in store by donating at dhpioneers.com and help bring your love of history to the people. Digital History Pioneers is an IRS Section 501c3 approved charitable corporation that makes any donation tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law.
The Gettysburg Museum of History, located right here in the center of Gettysburg, PA. Owner and curator Eric Dorr grew up here and has spent his life collecting and preserving history through artifacts ranging from the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg, World War II, presidential items, pop culture, and more. His museum is free and open to visitors Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m., where you can stop by and immerse yourself in some of the most amazing artifacts that you would never believe exist in the middle of Gettysburg. If you're a fan of Band of Brothers and Everything Easy Company, you'll love his exhibit featuring the Dick Winters collection and artifacts from D-Day. You can even own your own piece of history by buying one of the many relics they have for sale in the museum and on the website gettysburgmuseumofhistory.com. The Gettysburg Museum of History is a non-profit 501c3 organization with a foundation that allows all purchases and donations to keep the museum operating and open free of charge. They have been featured on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Smithsonian Channel, and the Science Channel. Now you can check them out on American Artifact, the series on the YouTube channel, The History Underground. So that's the Gettysburg Museum of History at 219 Baltimore Street or the gettysburgmuseumofhistory.com.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
All right. What? No, don't worry about headphones. Okay, we're just gonna go right by.
Oh wait, go to camera 3 again. Let me see me.
Oh my God.
No, so here,
look.
move back.
You look adorable.
Move back so that you're in the shot. There you go. And then we just move the microphone in between you guys. I'll turn it up, but also project, okay?
Look cute.
Yes.
Cute as hell.
God,
Is this loud enough?
Oh, jeez. Bo Brinkman and Kris Webb are both the classy heads of the Gettysburg Film Commission, and they are here with us today. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
So Cinema Under the Stars, I can't believe it's that time of year again. The
I
great
know.
Gettysburg tradition of watching movies up on, it's a tradition now because this is the second year and I've declared it a tradition. Watching movies up on the Seminary Ridge there. Not the seminary, but Seminary Ridge. And it's a tremendous amount of, I love it. I really do.
Thank you.
It's nothing to do with you, Bo. I just love the idea. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love the idea of it because, first of all, you're sitting outside. It's pitch black, right? Except for the street lights. But where we are, it's nice and dark.
Yeah.
And this big screen, and you're watching these classic movies that I never got to see on the silver screen ever.
Yeah.
In my life, right? Bo was around for the Great Train Robbery, so he saw that one. But like, I haven't seen any of these, so I think it's cool, to see these shows. What do we have this year? What are the ones?
Well, I was just going to add to that what you said, which last year I had watched The Searchers on television my entire life, and I always loved it. When I saw it on a 30-foot screen, I was blown away, and especially with the cinema package that we have and the sound system, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
I couldn't believe how beautiful that film was. What a masterpiece.
I was going to say that. I've never seen a John Wayne movie on the screen until then. Yeah. And what a perfect choice I made for that movie.
Actually, that was Matt's choice.
Was Matt's choice.
Last Christmas.
Because John Ford used a camera like Da Vinci used a brush. I don't know if that's a perfect analogy, but
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the way he shot Monument Valley was so perfect. And so that, and then you talk about the sound system, that opening chord of the theme, the main theme, in the beginning credits. I love that. Just that big bang, oh. It just gives you chills, and you hear it echoing through the neighborhood.
And I love the book ending of the film with John Wayne in the doorway.
Yes,
and then leaving. It said so much about the West at the time and in his time, and
and that's like one of the most copied shots in cinema history.
What an amazing shot.
Yeah,
and people don't realize that song, that theme music, it comes from that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the
like people sing that all the time and do that all the time.
So I know this is a very politically incorrect story to tell now, but it wasn't in the 90s. Well, it was starting to be in the 90s. But I went to Parsippany High School. Parsippany is named after the Parsippanyong Indians, and so we were the Parsippany Redskins.
Ooh, did they change it?
Yes, they're now the Red Feathers, or Red Hawks, or something like that. Red Hawks. Anyway, when I was in the marching band, we were in the stands.
And you would play that.
All the bass drums. Right? And then we just play that for a little bit.
Wow.
And then the horn section, the low brass.
It has to be
as loud as they could go. They would just go, right? And it scared the other team. But it gave me chills. I just thought that was so cool. But yeah, that's true. It is from that. And
I was talking to a friend of mine who had gone to the.
Now they play Copacabana, which is not so intimidating.
What were you gonna say?
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
I talked to somebody who had gone to that, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I was unprepared to hear that. You just don't equate that song with that movie.
Yeah.
And then you hear it out there, and it, like you said, it echoed across the hills.
Yeah.
And it was like a very surreal. experience.
It's a great
You don't
movie,
think about
though.
it that way.
It's a great. Okay, so but that was last year.
That was last
So people
year.
can't see that with us this year. What are they going to see this year?
We're going to see Maddie Does Dallas, starring Matt Callery.
Wow.
You do know my dad's name is Dallas, correct?
No, but we do now.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's going to be, if you've never seen Matt in a pink Speedo, I
Come
think
on this date.
You got to come this summer to see his movie debut. Okay?
Dua Lipa.
So you have to come to all of them to figure out which one he's going to be showing.
Oh my God.
The pink Speedo.
Yes. My, how we digress.
Right.
Seriously.
It's easy to
Let's
do
go back
around
to
that.
the question.
So,
The Great Escape.
The Great
begins.
Escape is this.
Love it.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday.
The Great Escape, starring
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen,
Yeah.
Chaz Bronson,
Can't go wrong with that movie.
Garner.
What did you say?
Charles Bronson,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Walter Brennan,
Yeah.
Gabby Hayes,
Gabby Hayes.
James Garner.
James Garner,
No.
James Garner,
James Garner.
Gabby,
Gabby
Donald
Hayes.
Pleasant,
Yes.
Don Mattingly.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No.
Oh.
But no, that was a good start. Great film. I grew up watching it.
Yeah, see, I've never seen it.
No way.
So I'm excited to see this one.
Oh my God.
When is
Really?
it? May 9th?
No, it's
Wednesday the 7th.
Wednesday the 7th.
8 p.m.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, because it's the kickoff of the film festival.
I see.
Then, so
I
we're
see.
going to be breaking out the big screen.
Because it's World War II
Wednesday.
theme, so
I
we're like,
gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So we're going to
Gotcha.
kick it out next week.
Yeah.
And then we kick off our
shame.
cinema then June 21st.
I
will
see.
be 12 Angry Men.
Oh, another good
One
one.
of my favorites.
Yes.
Okay, so just so you know,
Jack Lemmon.
I heard you earlier.
Yes, he was in it.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Who else? Henry.
Jack Klugman.
Yes.
It's a great.
Jack Valentino.
No, what?
Palance.
No, I don't think he was in it.
No, I'm just naming Jacks.
You're just saying how many more
But-
Jacks could
So
be on
was
the
it,
12
it's-
Angry Men?
If anyone, you know,
Jack
the
Lemmon.
movie's been remade like 3 times.
Yeah, you're watching.
Yeah, but you're talking about the original.
This is the original.
Yeah.
Raymond
I
Massey.
actually saw one.
Raymond Massey.
You know what? I'm bad with names. I
Hold
don't.
on, I'm looking it up.
Adolf
But,
Menju.
Adolf Mendu.
Menju.
Menju.
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn.
You're killing me.
Errol Flynn is not in 12 Angry Men, Courtney. Court's just saying names.
Raymond
Are you?
Massey.
Are you
Raymond
killing-
Massey.
Henry Fonda.
Henry
Lee
Fonda.
Cobb.
Lee Cobb. Yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
of course. And there's 12 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Martin Sheen.
Jack Warden's in it, and Joseph Sweeney, Ed Begley,
Ed Begley. Yeah.
Oh, senior.
George
Yeah, senior. Mm-hmm.
Muscovich,
See, I always wondered.
Robert Weber.
So Ed Begley Jr., I know,
Yeah.
right? And I always wondered who's senior.
No, his dad was a known, very well-known character actor. I know Ed Begley Jr. I haven't seen him in years, but yeah, that's him right there. He had a really great role in it.
Looks like a woman.
Look closer, honey.
Oh, the
Not
guy in the
at
picture
that woman,
below.
it's the
That's
other
the
one.
trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't even notice that was there.
It took me by surprise when I saw it. I'm like, wait a minute, where are you looking at?
Took me about surprise.
This picture.
No, I know, but all I could see was her initially.
So anyway, yeah.
right.
So,
I didn't even look at that.
Yes.
so
All right. So what?
Yeah.
What else?
12 Angry Men
Right.
is in June.
July 19th will be Butch Cassidy.
Oh,
Sunday
that was my
Red.
suggestion. That
Yes,
was the one.
There you
and
go.
That was actually one of my suggestions for last year.
Yeah, it was actually.
Matt gets every year we give him a choice. You know, like he comes up with some really good ideas. They're
does.
all in color.
He's a
'Cause
movie
he's
connoisseur.
young.
They're all in color.
'Cause he's
They're all
young.
in color because he's young. No,
That's true.
you know, we
isn't it?
looked at Sundance before. You know, we review everything to make a choice before we, you know, announce it. And
Right.
we looked at that film, and I forgot how beautiful it was. Again,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful. You know, they shot it in Utah, and that's why. That's where. Well, that's how Sundance came about. Did you know that?
Sundance Film Festival.
because Robert Redford fell in love with Utah in that area where they shot and bought a huge ranch there.
I did know that, actually.
And then actually because of a friend of mine who was a early on 1970s independent filmmaker by the name of Eagle Pennell.
What a great name.
Yeah. Eagle Pennell. He actually directed one of my scripts back in the early 80s or mid 80s. He did a movie called Last Night at the Alamo that John Canby gave 5 stars in the New York Times, and that movie is now, I think it's in the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Redford saw that film and said, we need to have a foundation that brings independent filmmakers along.
Mm-hmm.
It was that film that made him decide to start the Sundance Film Festival. From a director who right out of Houston, Texas, that went to UT and UT Film School. I don't know what kind of film school that it was back in those days, but he was a dear friend, and he's been dead for a while.
That is a cool name.
Eagle Pennell.
Eagle Pennell.
Yeah. He did.
I had a friend who was a director who almost did one of my movies called Sparrow Antonelli, and it just didn't have its.
You are so full of crap.
It sounded cool.
I'm like,
Sparrow.
oh my gosh.
I can't handle you.
Oh my
I really
gosh!
can't.
How much of this are you going to edit out?
Unfortunately, it's live.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, save the children.
Oh
No
gosh! All right.
editing them.
No shame.
Dear.
All right, here we go.
All right, so what else? So we got that's July, right?
Yeah,
July.
July
All right,
19th.
what else?
And then August 16th will be To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ooh, another good
Love
one.
it.
Yeah.
I have
That
seen
one's
that
in
one.
black and white.
Yes,
Do
it
we
is.
care?
Yes.
No, we love
we don't. We
black
love
and
black
We
and
love
white.
black and white.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
hey,
not looking
12
just
Angry
for-
Men is
is
black and white as well.
Oh, I guess, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Unless you
Yeah.
want the 80s version with, what's his name? Who's the boss guy?
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza.
Angela, guilty.
Tony Danza.
Did you ever notice that
Jonathan.
12 Angry Men is like the one thing that every TV show does an episode of 12
Yeah.
Angry Men?
Family Guy did.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's
Even
so
Charmed
good.
did a version of that.
Wow.
12 Angry
Well, I'll tell you what,
Is that what it was?
that film is one of the greatest films. It is, and no one's, they've made like 2 remakes of it now, or maybe or 3. No one's come close to the performances that show did.
That's a fantastic.
Nothing like it. So, and that's our season. That's what we're doing. Now, I don't know if something comes up around Halloween. Maybe we're open. We're open because last year we did Psycho and we had a great crowd.
Yeah,
it was a
fun.
lot of fun. We'll
What
see
would you
how
do
it
this
goes.
year? What would you do this year?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not against doing Psycho again, but let's see what happens during the summer. But that was really a nice time because the weather, it was really cool. Everybody had
great.
it wasn't too cold. It was just right.
It's cool.
Grab your blanket.
What Court? What was your suggestion?
Bobby Horton. It's a church, right?
What is
the seminary?
Well,
more or less.
You
How about The Exorcist?
We love to. You know what's really nice?
That would go over well.
Is to hear people's suggestions. So
yeah, hear how stupid
just to
they are.
throw it out there in the community and see what people want to see. And of course, we have to narrow it down to a small, to 3, 4 movies, but nevertheless, it's really nice to hear what people want to see.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
and then also we don't want to go against Majestic either, because they have a season as well for classic films. So.
Yeah,
why
just
not?
to throw it out there, how we did it and how we're doing it, and considering fall. So we did do on Facebook, and Matthew, you did not put your suggestion on there, by the way.
I don't really go on Facebook a lot.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. But
I'm not
I have
on.
to have Facebook because of what we do.
Same here.
So what we did was we just said, what are your favorite movies? What do you want to see? So the breakdown of when you choose a movie, you first of all have to look at the month you're going to show it. What's the sunset? What movie did you choose, and how long is the running time? So many factors come into play, and then you have to look at the copyright. Can you get the rights to that movie? And then if you can, what is the $1 million
price
factor on it? Yeah, price.
Yeah.
So you have to keep it in your budget. So we have a budget that it cost us $3,000 to run one cinema under the stars. So it's a lot of money to pull together all of this and
For one night.
For one night. And so all of those things come into factor when you're doing it. So the later you go, so say fall, you could do like a longer running one or something like that because you can start earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
All these little dynamics that you have to think about when you're doing it. So, but it would be fun to know what. So what we did this year, we wanted to do a little different. We wanted to have definitely 3 for our summer series and leave on the wings of that, being able to do something in the spring and in the fall, something for the community. So in the spring, we're doing World War II at the film festival. In the fall, we're actually just sitting it there, and we'll see which way we want to go with it. We wanted to leave that because we have to build it. We have a crew that we have to hire to put it up and tear it down, and we have to be respectful of their time when they can, do it and when they can't. So
because it's a late night for you guys.
It's really late till we tear it down.
No,
and put it away.
the screen is 400 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So that's a 4-man job. Just hauling it out and setting it up. That is a nightmare. And by the time we tear it down, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. So that I'll tell you what, it's a lot of work, but it's so enjoyable. That it weighs out. I mean, it's so enjoyable to sit there in a lawn chair and have a beer or a glass of wine or a Coke and watch an amazing movie that you've never seen on a big screen. It's a wonderful feeling. It's worth all the work.
100%.
It is. It's wonderful.
I was thinking about you guys the other day because we had that horrible windstorm, and I was like, I wonder what they do if it's like.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to know what we do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the system we have, the cinema package, can withstand 25 mile per hour.
Oh wow.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
It is a monster.
Yeah,
and
it is.
Holds up really incredibly.
And there's tent stakes, and I mean not. Those little yellow tin steaks.
Yeah. Oh no.
30-pound.
These are like here's my
30-pound steaks that are about
they're
4
enormous.
feet
Oh my
wide.
God.
They weigh
And
like what 30 pounds.
They weigh 30 pounds,
Yeah.
and you have to put them in with a sledgehammer into the ground with straps.
It's not moving out.
With straps like that big. These are circus tent steaks, not little pup tent steaks.
Yeah, no,
Oh my
it's
God.
amazing. So fun. Like after last year, we had to figure out a couple dynamics because we did have rainouts. So we had to figure out what are we going to do. So the seminary, when we rent the lawn, so we pay a fee to have the lawn, but that incorporates us with Valentine Hall, which is the building beside us. So we get to have indoor bathrooms, not Jiffy John's, right? Which is awesome. But at the same time, we get to rent that lawn. We get the theater inside available.
Nice.
So now we're rain or shine, does not matter.
Yeah.
And we will do we have live music that starts an hour before sunset. We
Food
have
trucks.
food trucks there. We have this year, Matt, I don't even know if you know this yet. We kicked off our youth, spotlighting a youth program. So we give away free popcorn at this. So,
Yeah.
So they're going to be our guests. They're going to be our spotlight feature youth coming in. So when we do June 21st, our youth program is going to be children's advocacy. They're going to be the ones we highlight. They're going to be ours, like handing out the popcorn, having an information booth. We're going to like highlight them so we as a community can give back, right? It's a free event. And it's time to highlight who our youth are.
Yeah,
so
so
July will be Huffman
There's
Home
a big
Youth.
tip bucket so everybody can throw
So these
some
are
cash
like,
in.
These are great
Yeah.
ideas to, and again, incorporate our youth with this classic love of film. And then August is going to be St. Francis Xavier School. So we get to incorporate what our private schools are doing and what they're doing with the youth. So it's really exciting. These are the things I saw last year. I just couldn't create it all, the first year. So it's exciting.
I have to say, Kris, I'm very impressed with you because you have.
What about me?
You're the talent.
We're always talking about you, Bo. Can we talk about Kris for a minute?
Enough about Kris. Let's talk about me.
It's always about Bo.
I am impressed with you though because you. What do you do? You're not in the film industry. Tell everybody what you do for your
So
normal.
I'm in a hair salon for 42 years. I've been doing hair and like 37 years of my own business. So yeah.
So
I work my butt off.
you
there.
do.
Yeah.
You work very hard. You're long hours, and then now you do this on the side, but you're really like kicking ass with it. I mean, you guys, it's not even a year old, is it, or is it
just a year?
Just turned a year.
Yep, just in April.
Wow, that went fast.
I know. Right?
I know, right?
Yeah.
So you're a year old, and in a year you've really been able to accomplish a lot of things, and the way you're pulling everybody together. This is great. This is the way it should work. You know, like everybody should work together and help each other's organizations out and all that other stuff. And if you have a spotlight that's shining on you, you need to pull other locals in to it.
You
better. But not everybody does.
And it's lovely. I mean, my favorite thing in the world is to gather. I love gathering with people. I love getting to know people. I love highlighting. I don't need to be up that close. So that kind of goes hand in hand with the things that I do like. You know, I like to bring people together that have talents and gifts and are they add something when you don't want to be a silo and do it by yourself. Everybody brings to the table. And, you know, history is also a favorite of mine. So I'm like a history nerd of my own. I like gathering generals at a table. Yes, I like to gather generals at a table and collaborate together. So this is just like this is just so, I don't even know what to say other than this is my heart and I love to see it. I like to hear people talking and seeing each other and all the people like merging together on the ridge. And I feel like it's like what a mom feels with their children. I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, look at our community.
And look, but also, I mean, you have to feel a sense of pride because you are part of, and Bo pulled that together.
Do it without him, and he couldn't do it without me. We actually, I mean, funny aside, he always likes to say,
she does most.
She does everything. Just admit it, Bo. She does everything. She does.
Well, I mean,
right?
it's in my head. Like I see it, I know it, and then
woman of action.
I am. I don't let grass grow under my feet, and if I give you my word, I will go to my grave doing it. So I don't give my word lightly.
Remember when you gave me your word that you'd give me $100?
Oh my gosh, and you didn't give it to him yet?
No, I'm talking to you.
Sorry.
Me?
No, she gave.
I did not.
She gave the money to me, and I never gave it to you.
You were supposed to give me 100, and I haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I think a lot of times people forget that this is a community first.
Yeah.
Like there is a community behind all of this.
Yes.
And that's the cool part about these types of events is that it brings the local public out too.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it is of course tourists who like listen to this show, for example, or just follow everything on social media for you guys and everything will see these and come in when they're in town.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what we like to see too. But I think what's really cool is you see people that you know from around town, and it's like, oh, hey, George, oh, hey,
there's
Timmy.
a little social hour beforehand, yeah,
and it's just it's an opportunity for people who normally don't bump into each other to bump into each other when everybody's really busy with all the stuff that goes on during the tourist season. It keeps us all running around with our heads cut out like chickens with their heads cut off. You know, this is something that we can take a little break and go and do it, and it's just fun. And it's free.
I would love to see more tourists.
Okay,
I would too.
I want to talk a little bit
would.
about that. So I told Bo this a week ago. Norma Herring from 1863, the hotel. Right? So I talked to her and I expressed to her. I said, Norma, you're the first one in the tourist industry I'm really talking to right now, but I want to get this information. I want to start working with the tourist end of Gettysburg. You know, I've already done all the legwork to get cinema up and running. Now I need to network out. And I said, I really want to start talking to that the tourists would know. So we have in Destination Gettysburg, we have it in the calendar. I said, but there has to be more. And so
you have to talk to who actually talks to tourists.
The frontline stuff.
Well, that's the one thing I'm like, I love it on the calendars, but I also need the ones that are
the
with
hotels.
our tourists, every day.
You got to have something in the lobby.
So I told Norma, I said, I want to give this to you. I want to give you, this is what we're doing. This is a vision. I'd like to just sit and meet with you and help me navigate the tourist industry of our town a little bit better so I can get this information to them, see what that looks like to, get the information, whether it be sharing Facebook posts or whatever that's going. So I'm just now starting to really try to reach out to the tourists in a different way. this year. What is that?
Rack cards.
Oh, like all throughout. Okay, that's an interesting.
That's a
take.
great idea.
That's a great idea.
Or see if they'll let you like put flyers in the rooms or something. Or
Well, and I did start that with.
we'll
I
put
did
something
start
at Rupp.
that.
Yeah.
We have a rack card holder at Rupp.
Okay, so that is a building. So this is just so you know, cinema just got formed last year, and I got thrown into it by fire. I got thrown in the pit and then just had to figure it out. But
you're doing a great job with it.
Well, no, it's very fun to me to create, and creating doesn't mean that you figure it out in the first moment you're doing it. You're getting the things that don't work, you're adding the things that do, and you're growing. I didn't think about rack cards yet because I haven't visually done the tourist end till now.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
The number of people that come in and just take one of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great
And then they go back to the
idea.
hotel later.
And they lay it
That's
out
an
and see what
awesome
we wanna
idea.
do.
Like we have our flyers, we have
That's
all
a
that
terrific-
stuff. Thank you, because I'm just now trying to like bridge into our tourist industry.
Yeah.
Still growing. It's gonna, like everything, you know. I got our foundation, our pillars down, but kind of building my house, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, I'm just so excited for you. You have the coolest office.
Right?
Yes.
Anybody
I love
wants
our
our
office.
office is banging
I'm
at the
super
Schmucker house.
jealous.
Yeah.
I
It's
walked in and I was like,
lovely.
Great office.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
I
an
know.
office.
Well, they did a
Another
good.
love I have. I love.
They did a good job sprucing it up too.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
That's
super
right.
cute.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said you did a good job sprucing it up too. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
That's
It
not
didn't
the
look
way
like
you
that
felt.
before you said it.
No,
Chris
no.
did 99% of that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
The
it.
rotary phone and the old typewriter.
Yeah, the typewriter's
So
the
much
best
fun.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
You
pipe.
can't have an 1832
The
home
pipe
and
rack.
not go
Yeah.
old, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one then of your official season is what'd you say? June.
It is June 21st,
June
and that's
21st.
12 Angry Men. And just so you know, the live music, we didn't talk about that. So Nick Mick will be our live music.
Oh,
that
we know
night.
Nick.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Nick is going to
We
be,
love
I
Nick.
want to highlight our live
Have you
talent
heard
of
him?
the area. I have heard him, not in person yet, and I can't wait to.
Oh, he's very
Can't wait
good.
to.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
it just because you can on all the platforms.
Yeah. Well,
but
he performed on this show.
Yeah,
very
and
good.
Yes.
We just put that
can't
out
wait.
individually.
We had him last year, and it rained out, and then when we had our rain date, he wasn't available. So we're super excited about having Nick. So he'll be June. Our food truck is CJ's, and Bantam will be there that night.
Delicious.
And then in July, Faith Noel will be our music for July.
I think it's Faith
really
No
good.
More.
What?
I think it's Faith No More.
You're being ridiculous.
Why do you say that?
It's
What do you mean by that?
That's the band's name, isn't it?
No, I don't think
You want it all, but
no,
you
it's
can't
Precious
have.
Faith Noel.
Oh, this is this is
Yeah.
one person.
She just
Yeah.
went to kick you under the table. And you were
I
too
did.
far
I'm like,
away.
Matt, if you were close enough, I'd yank on your beard.
I built in protection. What'd you say?
Be like, I just
I
yank.
don't know, but it sounded
No, just
interesting.
yank, just like
Oh, yank on your beard.
I
Oh,
just would, like,
beard.
your beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
thought you said
no.
boob.
So Faith. No. Well, we could probably do that.
You probably could.
So no, Faith will be our music for that night on July 19th, and Latino
Fusion.
Fusion will
Delicious.
and Bantam will be there, and then August we have Burn and Bridge will be our music, and it's a duo, two precious women, and
Then the Red Hot Chili Peppers are gonna.
they're gonna
Yeah,
open them up.
Wow.
they're-
Oh, they're opening.
They're
for
opening.
It's an open, yeah, it's
The
about
Red
that.
Bridge
Hat
of
Chili
Confusion.
Yes,
What's the name of the
so-
band? Bridge what?
Burn BERNN Bridge.
Burn and Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it.
So then Eurobites
Like
and Bantam will be there, and the cool
Bernard
thing-
and Bridget. Is that what it is?
no, they're two females. So
Oh, Bernice and Bridget.
They're just angry young females.
they
Okay.
are not. You guys are. This is why we women have to be here.
So yeah, Lilith
These
Fair going on in
men
August.
Do this. So the cool thing is, like, so Valentine Hall, just so you know. So the neat thing is now we have it all figured out. So if a rain date comes, if wind comes,
Nice.
it's
Yeah,
too
we'll
big,
be at the Valentine Hall.
nothing will ever get
You
canceled.
can go inside.
All the
Yeah.
music, we'll have a concert in the theater.
Yeah.
Our food trucks are right at the door of Valentine Hall anyway, because that's where our bathrooms are. All the popcorn's right in the foyer. It's a gorgeous foyer in Valentine Hall. And then we'll get to still see our movie just as everything is. So nothing's going to change, which is
And
cool.
so for June 21st, that's the 6 Questions Lents tour down in Brandy Station. So if you're passing through Gettysburg, if you're using Gettysburg as your launching point to go down there with us, and then you're going to be back up here, that's something for you to do that night. Go and see, what's the movie, Butch and Sundance? Is that the 21st?
Are you talking June?
Yeah.
No, that'll be the 12 Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
Mm-hmm.
So
and everything goes by sunset because it's a bit different. An hour before sunset will be music, and then as soon as sun, and just so you know too, we didn't even talk about this, but when sun sets, we have to wait for the screen to start taking its picture on, right? Mm-hmm. So before the sun sets, it's just like this white, big screen. But as the sun goes down, all of a sudden you start seeing all the pictures coming up. And then Jim Uden from Uden. I always say Uden. Jim, I apologize. I always say it. Uden. I love him. I can never remember how to pronounce that. It's like pecan, tomato.
Pecan.
No,
do you know what I mean? No, I know, but it's like that's what happens in my brain. So, anyway, so Jim will be there as a film historian and professor of Gettysburg College. He, as sun goes down, the screen starts coming alive for us. We know that we're real close to being able to show the film. He'll come up and give us all these amazing facts about each film that we're doing, just to kind of give us a little inside knowledge.
Sometimes he does a film quiz, and he makes it entertaining.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He's good.
Truly.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, that's a fun little thing we wanted to do. And I don't know if you heard, and I might not have told you, Adeline, who's age 8, was one of our
8 years old little girl.
She was she came to every cinema under the stars last year but one. And I asked at the end, because I know her parents, and I said, could I ask Adeline, a question now that she's seen them all? And I wanted to know, I said, what did you like best about it? Because she asked her parents if she could come to cinema. Not the parents saying we're going.
Yeah. Dragging her there.
Right. It was Adeline wanted to be there. Yeah. And I said, what did you like most about, the classic films? And so she was just saying, she goes, my favorite thing is I'm, here, I get to come here with my family. And then the other one was, and I like it that, cell phones aren't in it. And I like the phones along the road in the box. And then she goes, super cute.
Oh, I was talking about phone booths.
Now, I reached out to her mom. I'm like, box. Angie, can I have Adeline's quote forever?
But wait, she said something that was poetic.
End. No, at the end, what she did then she said, she goes, what I like most about the black and white movies are, I like to wonder what color they are.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Right?
I still.
Age 8 said, I like to
That's
wonder.
That's going to make me cry.
It melts in my heart. I have that thing. That is like my
It's on our refrigerator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on our.
Wait, why does that melt your heart?
Because I love it's the little wondering of a little girl who
the wonderment of a little girl.
I'll do you one better. I thought that way when I was 8, and I still do at 48.
Then you might make me cry then, Matt. Maybe that's why I like you.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So anyway, it's super cool. It's not just for adults only. We're not bringing anything that's a trashy thing that would be inappropriate.
That's
for
why we
kids.
have to go with old movies.
Only after midnight.
Right.
Okay.
What do you remember that when it used to be like once the kids go to bed, then they changed our TVs.
Yeah.
Things because they wouldn't allow children to watch certain things, and they protected it years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, we're not looking to do that. We're looking to try to have something that would be, a bridge for all ages. So anyway, there's the whole wrap up.
I think it's a wonderful event. The only bad thing last year was that Ezra was too little.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was only 4. He would have run around.
100%. I get that.
But this year, he's a year older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is kind of starting to really get into movies and looking at it and actually paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
But Mark said, he's like, we should do a date night. And I was like,
What? Did I hear? Did my ears hear what your mouth just said?
17 years you want to go on a date with me.
I love it. Get a babysitter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Mark doesn't actually like me. We just are cohabitating.
Yeah. But, every now and then there's a little
Yeah. He's like,
well, you liked each other enough to have a child, so.
It was all done in a factory.
At that time.
Well, it's a precious factory that happened. No, I love it.
But I
Well,
do
then I
think-
hope we get to witness a date night with the two of you.
Wouldn't that be cute?
I
No, I
would
will
love it.
say this to you: if we do go, he's not going to speak to you, and it's not because he doesn't like you. It's he just is so socially awkward that
Oh,
he'll
good.
never
I
speak
love
to you.
people like
Okay.
that. I love it.
But-
You have to. Okay, I work in the hair industry.
True.
I had to deal with every personality that comes
Ever.
by.
Yeah.
And which is not. There's nothing bad with any of them. You just have to learn how to navigate each one, right?
yeah.
So I see value in everybody's personality.
Well,
It's very
if
cool.
we bring a date night, we'll do it up.
Okay,
Well,
just
you
so
should.
you know.
Have you not gone to one yet?
No, because I always
Yeah.
had Ezra. Like I couldn't.
You can't like give him Benadryl and. Oh, was that wrong? I'm sorry. I'm
that
sorry.
you don't do.
You don't do that. Oh, you don't do that.
No, it's like cough syrup with codeine in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put it in their bottle.
What?
Well, you do know way back when they used to use whiskey for teething, which I'd never.
Sure.
Oh, they did.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was just the old wives' tale thing.
And laudanum.
Yeah.
Whiskey and laudanum. That's the best way to do it.
It's crazy.
Well,
But
listen.
anyway, fun.
Good on you for continuing this.
Good on you.
Because I really do love it. I think it's
Wow, Chris.
a great thing for us to have here in Gettysburg. You're welcome. You're welcome. No, really, and good luck with it this year. I let us all pray now that the weather is nice
Yes.
on all of them with no wind.
It would be amazing.
And if there is wind, may the screen not kill anybody.
Right. Keep
Right?
it under 25 mile per hour. We'll be
Right.
fine.
And we can handle 25-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that actually isn't
It
as
never
bad.
gets above that.
We can't get it wet. It's the It's even just a drizzle.
Yeah, you don't want to get that wet.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
even
you
think
can't-
about that.
No, you
They'll
can't get
do
it
when
wet.
you roll it up.
No,
and
the
it's-
wind isn't as big.
Can you
as
take it down quickly? Is it a
Not
quick
that
takedown?
fast.
Not that
Okay.
not
Stab it
as
with a
fast
knife.
as you would need to.
Yeah,
Pull
it's
around an
tough.
almost 400-pound ball of rubber.
Also,
Oh, my
don't let
gosh.
Matt near it.
Well,
I mean,
we
he just
have.
threatened to pop it with a knife.
Oh my god!
In an emergency.
Are you? Oh.
In an emergency, I'll pull out my buck knife.
Okay. Well, then
You know
we'll-
that screen that is attached to the actual frame that blows up? That screen is $15,000.
If that tells you anything, how much
That
is the equipment?
it's a
Oh
special.
my God.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a special material.
It's like
and
buying
it-
a car.
It's amazing. I need a $500 microphone. I agonize for months
It's-
over spending that.
Yeah.
So if it gets mildewed, which I hope to God it's not,
DHpioneers.com.
because we haven't brought it out since October, it was mildewed on. You know, I don't think that's enough, but yeah, that screen is a special material and it's huge, right?
Yeah.
So a fifth to I talked to the manufacturer, the guy that is sells them. And I said, if I need to replace this, how much is it? And he goes, oh, are you sitting down? I'm like, well, wait a minute. What are we
Yeah,
talking about? He said, it's $15,000 to replace.
So don't bring any needles.
No.
And poke at our.
All right.
No, it's not. The frame is cheaper than the
frame is
screen.
better. Yeah. I'm just going to break the frame.
That's insane.
okay.
Is that insane? But it's that white special material that's
So it doesn't
used for-
reflect or any
right.
of that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
it's a whole. It's a yeah.
Well, they use this for film festivals around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
This
their,
company, actually.
This is
Yeah.
their theater.
They go to
outdoor theater. So it's pretty
Argentina
cool.
and do film festivals in Argentina with the same stuff that we
Yeah.
have.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, we weren't looking to
Because
try
it's
to
not
do
just
it
a
partially.
white screen. There's like little, what is it, silver? Like there's reflective
That's it.
particles
That-
in the screen.
in the screen.
That reflect the image back.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what makes
that's why
it
they
so
look good.
expensive, and
Yeah.
that's why the picture looks so good.
That's
And
why
the
when you
sound.
get your little movie projector and you put it on a bed sheet in your backyard
Yeah, it
to have
doesn't
movie
look
night,
very
and it
good.
doesn't look good,
No.
it's
There's
because you don't have a
something
movie
off about it,
screen.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Are you coming to dinner with us tonight?
Sure.
All right.
Where we-
Very good.
Where are we going?
I don't know. We've got to see what time we get out of
I
here.
don't know.
The point.
What?
Federal Point.
Oh, we can go to Federal Point. We
How's
haven't been
that?
there in a while.
I love Federal Point, and I haven't been there in a while.
Okay, we can go there. Yeah, but we might have to call ahead and let them know we're coming and how
We'll
many
call.
we are.
When we're done, we'll call.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we
we'll
might
give them a
we
call.
might. Well, it's 7 now. Well, okay. Let's get crack-a-lacking, and we'll be back after these words. Thank you both. Thank you, Chris. Good luck this year, and
Thank
we will
you.
be right back,
See you
ladies and
all
gentlemen.
there.
See y'all there.
Yes.
If you like this podcast and what we're doing here, Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming interesting history podcasts here at Addressing Gettysburg. It really helps the channel, and it's completely free. That's the best thing. It's completely free. Please help us make our goal of 25,000 subscribers by Memorial Day. Thank you very much.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinware Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
Who can forget the sounds of the 60s?
The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now, there's Marching Through Georgia, the exciting new album by Billy Webster. All of your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. Such hits as Gary Owens, The Battle Hymn of the Republic, All Quiet Along the Potomac Tonight, Marching Through Georgia, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to billysongs.com and order your digital download of Billy Webster's Marching Through Georgia today. That's billysongs.com. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300. To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention Addressing Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Jazzy. You know, at Digital History Pioneers, they're about grassroots history on digital platforms. And of course, that means us. It also means they're about podcasters, documentarians, YouTubers, and even TikTokers. All of these creators are out there trying to find their love of history. Not find it. They're trying to share their love of history with the public. They don't need ideas. I don't need ideas. I got plenty of ideas.
Out the wazoo.
Out the wazoo. What we need is funding, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
funding.
Money.
That means moolah.
Money.
That means tax-free donations from you, perhaps even your business that needs a write-off. Perhaps just the kindness of your heart.
Just write
or
it
your
off.
donor advised fund.
Perhaps if you look at my medical records and see all of the physical ailments I've developed from running myself ragged doing the show, sympathy would make you donate for a tax deduction to the Digital History Pioneers. I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever. I'm not telling you to do anything. But they need funding, both from viewers and corporate donors, of course. And Digital History Pioneers' initial funding focus is on the Civil War era, and rightly so. It's a special emphasis on the Addressing Gettysburg podcast to start it off. So be a part of the unique content that we have in store by donating at dhpioneers.com and help bring your love of history to the people. That's dhpioneers.com. Digital History Pioneers is an IRS Section 501c3 approved charitable corporate or agent. I couldn't do it, Court. Digital History Pioneers is an IRS Section 501c3 approved charitable corporation that makes any donation tax deductible to the fullest extent of the law. That's dhpioneers.com.
Fine art and pizza delivery. This show falls somewhere in between. You're back with Agent today.
Thank you, Courtney. Wow. I mean, Testicles Maximus. Love the Jerry Lee Lewis music you chose.
Oh, he's back there playing right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, in the air. It's amazing, Courtney. Fantastic. Look at him go. Oh, he's going to those higher notes. Oh, boy. Wonderful playing there, Court. Thank you very much for that beautiful rendition.
Didn't even have an instrument.
I know.
Yeah.
That good.
That's
So-
impressive.
Thank you.
So speaking of not having an instrument, Debbie went to one of our favorite places not too long ago.
We've got you guys playing over here at Urgent Care.
Oh, that place.
Wow. Huh?
Oh, Urgent Care.
Debbie went to Urgent
Dr.
Care.
Foose is in the hoose.
Doc Foose in the hoose. And Debbie, what happened? Why'd you have to go to Urgent Care?
I came down with a cold last week.
Hold on, Debbie. Hey, listen, Court. When we talk to people in the room, what you have to do is yell at them to come to the mic and just lift the mic up over your head so that.
Come to the mic! Oh, wow. I heard you. Good job. Okay.
1 minute.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, so
Now, Court, lift the microphone up. Wait, hold on. Lift the microphone, the arm up, grab the arm and move it up. Doesn't have to go right to her, but just so that it okay, go ahead now, talk.
Okay.
Oh, look, listen to how clear you are now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so came down with a cold last week, and as it progressed, it got down into my lungs. I have asthma. So I was very, very short of breath and decided I was just going to do something about that. So I went over to Urgent Care on Friday evening to get that taken care of.
We've got you guys playing over here at Urgent Care.
And did you have duck foos?
I did not,
Unfortunately.
but I had a very nice nurse practitioner by the name of Lisa.
Okay.
So,
well, very good.
Everyone
Well,
over there is very nice.
Thank you, Lisa, for taking care of
I've seen 'em all.
our Debbie. And were you wheezing?
What?
Were you wheezing?
It
What was
starting
your
to
pulse
get to that
ox?
point, so I figured nip that in the bud before it gets worse.
What were your pole socks?
I don't remember.
It was like.
Did they test your?
73.
They test your pulse socks?
Did they test your pole socks?
Yes.
Okay.
Were they washed? Were they
Pole
matching?
sock.
Because mine
Got
aren't
it.
matching today.
Didn't you do that?
Huh?
Didn't you
She's a
say that
force.
once?
Matt's feet
ox?
have been hurting this
Yeah,
whole
what's
time.
No, she.
Pulse
What
ox.
did you say, Court?
Matt's feet have been hurting this whole time. Leave him alone.
Oh my god.
No, what she said was
Burnt pole tops.
Pole top.
pole top.
Pole top.
Yes. Burnt
I
pole
did say
tops.
that. I knew it was something
pole
like that. Something about a pole.
Oh, here we go. I could house that loaf.
Houses and loaves, she usually takes
I usually take smaller bites. Dun dun. Oh my god, my gut hurts.
But when she cracks up,
Dun dun.
she jokes and snorts.
Dun dun.
How lucky are we to know a broad like Bethany?
All of you love me. I'm from Clarion.
Okay.
Are you done? Can I interrupt you and do something?
What's up?
So I pulled, because you never do this, because you don't think of yourself in this miraculous way that the rest of us do.
I don't
I
think-
pulled something off of
Whatever.
Patreon
Oh.
that I'm going to read to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, are you ready?
All right.
All right.
Sis boom ba.
I did not write this. This is somebody else that wrote
Okay.
this. So this person writes, I was thinking about it the other night while driving home. What makes Matt so different from everyone else? Why are people, I think quality people, drawn to him? And it's this. You outwork everyone else. See, I've told you many times this.
DHpioneers.com.
Oh my God. And the people you surround yourself with, Louis Trott, Jim Pangburn, Cody Aish, Jim Hessler, Charlie Fennell, et cetera, they are all very quality people. He did not mention me, which I'm just pointing out. And Matt is a quality person, which is very sweet.
That is sweet.
And over the years, I've watched him interact with people and seen firsthand how he enjoys passing on the story of the Battle of Gettysburg. He has great respect for what happened during those 3 perilous days in 1863, but he is not afraid to throw his dad humor into the mix, and the people enjoy and respect him for that. To me, Matt is the best in his field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've listened to some others, and usually within a certain period of time, I find myself tuning out because they just talk. Matt has the audience ask questions. In a certain sense, Matt is an educator. See? And gosh, do I respect that. And again, Matt's people that he surrounds himself with, they are enthusiastic about teaching to others and are very generous with their time. You have questions? Send Louis an email. Message 6 questions Lentz or Jim Hessler or Chris Army. They'll give you the best possible answer they can. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join AG Patreon.
That's true.
I've become a better student. Oh my God, the slow clap. I've become a better student of the Battle of Gettysburg because of addressing Gettysburg.
Oops, sorry.
Let me reread that.
Yeah, read that. I'm sorry. I hit the thing.
I've become a better student of the Battle of Gettysburg because of addressing Gettysburg.
Wow.
And I've met incredible and generous people. And for that, thank you, Matt. And that's from Richard Snyder.
Wow. Well, thank
Wasn't
you very
that
much,
so
Rich.
sweet?
That it was very nice. Yeah.
See, you don't give yourself enough credit.
Well, I'm not going to read that if I ever saw that. I did see the comment and I responded to it. I said thank you, but I would never read that. But thank you so much for finding that and printing it out.
Well, I feel like you don't give yourself enough kudos, so I'm going to do it for you.
Well, that would be obnoxious if I did.
It's not obnoxious to toot your own horn when it's deserved. And see, you tell me, is that real or is that no? No. Okay. I have to look at him to see if he's really laughing or not.
Why are you guys laughing? It was a compliment. It was a compliment. He meant it. Jesus, it's just going on.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And you tell me all the time that I'm so mean to myself.
You are. Well, you say horrible things about yourself.
Well, so do you.
Yeah, but they're true.
Shut up.
Okay. I know. I would say those things on a lie detector. All right.
Whatever.
I have an email that I thought was okay. So I printed this one out here. Hiya, Matt.
Hiya.
I've been a casual listener follower for about the past year. I was amping up for the return trip to the battlefield that we took last October and just did a random podcast search on iTunes to help get into the proper mindset, etc. After filtering through all of the results, I have been an avid listener of the show since. I also enjoy your morning drive videos while I'm at work. I really am working. It's over lunch, of course. I don't know if you realize how much people like me who live out in middle America and am only able to get out your way just every once in a while really appreciate being able to see the battlefield in such a way. Looking at pics and documented videos are great, but love the organic nature you deliver, including the voiceover. In regards to the podcast, I find yours to be superior to any of the others I sampled. Love your topics and guests. Also, love the way you are passionate and knowledgeable, but do not take yourself too seriously. As someone who visits the battlefield often in my mind and tries to figure out why this or that happened the way it did, I am thankful I have a great resource in you to help me along the way. Plus, it's a great commute filler. I wish I had more to offer in terms of support, but I often spread the word to my fellow nerds to check you out as often as they can, or as I can. Thanks for the escapism portal. That's from Shane. Thank you very much for the kind words, Shane. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you see it that way. I don't know about you, but like I've always consumed my entertainment, like the things that I really latched onto, entertainment-wise, movies, music, whatever, that I listened to and watched incessantly, where I would shut the world out, right? Like I don't know how many times if my mother ever comes on the show or calls in someday, she would tell you like there were times where I would be so engrossed in a movie or playing the piano, and somebody would call for me. And she'd answer the phone, and then she'd come into the room where I am, and she'd be like, Matt, there's a phone call. And then I'm still playing, I'm still watching or whatever. And then she'd be like, Matt, I'm talking to you. I'm standing right here. Jason's on the phone. Jesus Christmas. And she'd walk away all angry. But I literally did not know she was there. Yeah. I just get into a zone.
I'm that way with books.
That's another reason why I think I'm on the spectrum.
No, I was that way with books.
Okay, well, you are on the spectrum. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm just
We're very popular now, thanks to Love on the Spectrum.
I just think that one of the things that people underestimate is if you find something you truly love.
That's the thing. People who don't find that thing.
I feel bad for them.
I do too, but they also hate us.
Oh, like because we have found that thing?
They act like they hate people who have found like a hobby or a thing that they just absolutely love because they don't. And so because they don't have that. And it's like they don't understand it. It's not that they hate us. It's that they get frustrated because they don't understand why we aren't on the wavelength that they're on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because we're in like bizarro world.
I have the problem still now in my marriage. Mark will talk to me and I'm not paying attention. So it's usually on the phone. No, he does not. He is very loud. It's usually on the phone and then I act like there was static and I couldn't hear him. Then that's how I get him to repeat it. Kathy?
No.
Oh.
A thank you card. There you go. A thank you card.
A thank you card. I don't know what we're doing.
Yes, that's what it is. It's a thank you card. Thank you card here. I want to thank you for the thank you card. This is from, it's from a lot of people. A bunch of students from LaSalle out in Chicago. John Brogan is a listener of ours. And for the last 2 or 3 years, when he brings his students out here, he asks me and Scott Hancock. Might be 1 or 2 other people from here, but it's always me and Scott Hancock, not together, separately. And we meet with the kids and talk about whatever with them. And so I went and met with them out at Tommy's Pizza. We talked about podcasting, and the kids were like, "You have to have TikTok, man." And I was like,
TikTok, man.
I was like, I don't like dancing. I can't do TikTok. And they're like, "We'll do it for you." And I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool." So, because John's daughter was there, and she and her friend both have very successful TikTok channels.
Your
One does
accent
history, the other
came
one
out
does
so bad right there. You said daughter.
His daughter. His
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
And so I said, we'll talk. The three of us will talk, because I don't know what to do. I'll let you manage it. You can run. I'll start it. You run it. And if
All
it
the way
generates
from Chicago.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
They were
crazy.
showing me theirs, and then John, who's the dad, he was like, "Yeah, like she's got followers and all these views and everything like that."
Wow.
And I think she does history, and then her friend does like food or something like that, or I don't know. I was impressed, and they convinced me that we need to do it. But I said, "Well, look, I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the time to do it. I don't get it. I actually dislike it. So, but I understand the value in it." And I said, "So if you can run it." You just, have your dad send a message saying the girls need you to do this or get a shot of this or whatever. And Court and I will go out and do it and send it to you. And you do whatever it is that you do, work whatever magic you work.
Do your dances.
No dances. We're not doing
every video.
It would be funnier if we got like you'd put on like one of the old dresses that they wore back then and then do one of the modern dances dressed that way. That would actually
twerking in a hoop skirt.
hoop skirt twerking.
Hoop squirt.
This is so the kids signed it there, and I want to thank you guys for that. I'm going to thank you for the thank you, and honestly, it is an honor for me when you ask me to do that every year. John always says, it's like, "Oh, thanks so much for me. I really appreciate you taking the time out." And I'm like, I look forward to it every year, and it is so rewarding for me. And I told him this year, I said, it's a great way to come out of my cave from the winter, because it's every April and it's like perfect.
And it's beautiful outside.
Well, it was it wasn't a bad day that day. But the point is, like, it's just a good way to kind of put you in good spirits for the beginning of the season. So thank you, John, for that. I appreciate it. And I can't wait for next year. I always look forward to it. What else? Anything new? Hi, Cindy. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah, what's going on? Aww. What's going on? I gotta rearrange this somehow. I like the computer up here. The problem is, maybe it's because you're too far over that way.
I'm in the middle.
Wait, no, because I changed the shot for Bo and
how
Chris.
cute she
There
looks.
you go. Now you can move over there. She does look cute. She always looks cute. She just doesn't believe me when I say that. And there you go. And there's Court giving you the thumbs up. And you can
Thanks, Court.
and you get to see a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. You get to see our
that's why
Japanese lantern up there.
That's why he
Oh, he does that because he likes so that he can be in the shop.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
All right. What?
What?
He does that just so people remember that he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
He goes,
There you
"Hi."
go. Court, why do you do that? I'm trying to set up the shot, and he
switches the camera.
Switches the goddamn
Because
camera.
he jokes and puts it on who's not talking.
He does do that, yeah. He does.
I'm not talking.
So, okay, so let's see. Grant has not called in here, but let's see. But Grant is commenting again, so that's good.
Makes me feel better.
I
about
have
life.
to tell you something. Grant has me worried about Grant because something, he hasn't told me what, but something obviously has happened where he didn't come to the States. And he's like, he told me, he's like, I got to take a little, I'll still watch the show, but I got to take a break from participating. So, he's down in the dumps about something.
And he wasn't on last week, and I was very upset.
The whole
even called
room
Mom after we left.
I heard, and you were crying. I heard you in the car.
I said Grant wasn't on
Yeah.
the chat last.
It's not the same. It's not the same, but I'm glad to see that he's in here. So that's good that Granny is joining us here. Let's see here. Speaking of morning drives, I did not see any this week. Did I miss them? No, you did not, Don. The thing that I hold the phone in the thing broke. And so it was supposed to. I ordered it the day it broke, and it was supposed to come the next day. But then I got a notification saying that it was delayed, and it just came yesterday, and I put it together.
You know, I'm off all next week.
What?
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying there's East Cavalry Field right there.
Oh, you want to do a driving video?
You should come pick me up.
And you want to do a driving video?
Yeah, sure, I'll do one.
Okay.
But you have to tell me in advance, not as you're picking me up.
No, I'll let you know.
So that I'm dressed.
I usually just do them at the last minute.
That's fine, but at least
you know what
by
I'll
the
do
time
is
you get out of your house,
I'll say ahead of time, I'm going to do a driving video now. Want me to pick you up? I'll start the video because I do the drive into town, and then along the way, I'll pick you up as a surprise guest. You know.
Okay. You just can't show where I live.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
Well, then you're going to have to meet me at East Cavalry Field.
I can do that.
And then you get in my car, and we'll drive around, and then I'll drop you back off when we're done.
I'll meet you at the gas station in Bonneville.
Okay. No. Why don't you meet me in town?
We can talk about this later.
Okay. At Bantam. Meet me at Bantam.
Okay.
Oh, God. Okay. So anyway, that is all I have to say about that. Oh, damn it. I meant this.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
Frustration spill, police summoned during Butler Township Zoning Hearing Board meeting over potential solar installation.
Monroeville man charged with making bomb threat against Gettysburg State Police Barracks.
Gettysburg native speaks out after being shot during Florida State mass shooting.
Ooh.
The Hammond's Rock fire is 100% contained. All this and more on today's news.
See, I knew it was going to be
let's talk about big balls then.
And then I have too many scribbles.
Oh, not the scribbles.
Too many scribbles.
Dybbuk schmibbuk, I said more ham.
All right. What's in the news, ladies?
All right. So it's actually, it's two separate stories, but they go together. It didn't take long for frustrations to spill out as Butler Township Zoning Hearing Board opened testimony for solar farm stakeholders Monday evening at the Biglerville Fire Hall. Sorry, they don't have a farm hall. So this was, I want to say this one was last week. The hearing, expected to take at least 2 sessions, is the first of 3 large solar projects aiming for development within Butler. The hearing was called to adjudicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A proposal to put 2 30-acre solar farm arrays on the Bream Orchard Farm south of State Route 234.
The Bream Orchard Farm?
Yeah, you haven't heard of this? So this is a big deal. And so the reason I wanted to bring it up too is that I think it'll be a good topic of discussion.
Wait, hold on, real quick before would Beth, would you would you rather see a solar farm or a cookie cutter neighborhood go up at that farm? Because here's the thing, and this is where I'm torn. Obviously, the
solar panels can come down.
Okay, but wait. But obviously, the Bream Farm people need to sell, right? And
need money,
and they want to hold it and everything like that, right? Now, so if they want to hold the property, then they got.
And I also so this is.
So I'm just at because I think they're both abhorrent. I think the powers that be around here are seeing money. And I get it. It's what makes the world go round. They're seeing nothing but money, but they're in the meantime just destroying the beauty and the integrity and the charm of this whole area. And it breaks my heart. I don't like it, but how do you argue with money? Like, I don't have millions of dollars to buy something and then donate it to a preserve or something.
We'll talk about it.
Well, go ahead. So I'm just speaking in general terms.
South of State Route 234 near its intersection with Heckenluber Road. Is that how you say that?
Sounds good.
At least 75 residents, township officials, and project representatives attended the hearing. The question before the board is whether or not to permit a solar farm by exception to normal zoning restrictions in the Butler Township Agricultural Preservation Zone. Land development would follow only if the solar developer receives a positive decision from the zoning hearing board. As the hearing began 21 minutes late, the solicitor, Adam Boyer, struggled to be heard in the large space as he told those assembled the process was a quasi-legal process and only those directly affected by the potential project would be allowed to speak. This is not a town hall meeting, he said. Complaints of "we can't hear" and "we can't see" the information on the slide presentation echoed in the hall as the quasi-legal process began. It goes on, the hearing board granted status to about a dozen neighbors to the project, giving them the opportunity to ask questions and address the board from the podium. So about a dozen people out of the 75 that showed up were allowed to speak because they were directly affected as being neighbors of the property. So Mazer introduced the project. Let me see who Mazer is. I don't think I introduced that person yet, but Lori Mazer is the co-founder of Formation Energy. So she called on or introduced the project for the ZHB, which describing the project as two separate but adjacent 3 megawatt solar farms covering roughly 60 acres. I also have to believe that the Bream farm is way more than 60 acres. So
I would think.
That's why I'm thinking that they are holding the property. I don't think that they're looking to sell. The project is designed for MetEd's electrical grid as a net metered array. Net metering means Formation would be selling all of its generated electricity after covering the power required to run the array, its inverters and transformers. It's much like solar panels at your house. And they did also say that the solar power would stay within the MetEd system and not go into the national grid. Frustrated questioners asked if their electric bills would go down.
No, because it's not going here.
Right. Well,
that's the thing. It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, it went on to talk a lot about different, studies they've done because a lot of people were trying to basically give reasons as to why it shouldn't be allowed. Right. So like one of them was the glare for aviation. So the FAA had to do, there's a lot of studies that have to be done. The FAA had to be included because glare from the airplanes and green glare doesn't affect it. So there was that they were squashing. Then there was also the DCNR that was involved because they determined there was a potential risk for a bog turtle habitat, even though none were identified in the wetland area.
But how about no, Scott? How about just no? Like, why does it have to be something? Like, why can't it just be, no, we don't want this in our area?
Well, because, and so this is what we'll get to. So, public members in attendance were frustrated by difficulty seeing the information projected. A neighbor to the project, Thomas Scarborough, said up until this hearing, he had no idea where the array was planned on the site, which again, no kidding, because it's 60 acres of the entire farm and it is not his property to know where they would be looking to put it. It's just basically, this is what this property is zoned as. So
here's what they should do. I have a simple solution. Okay. If you want to do this, if we're going to believe that these solar farms are good and they don't harm the environment, okay, fine. But if you're going to do them, if you're going to put them in, then at least get the local towns to draft ordinances that force the jackasses who are putting the farms there to put evergreens up that are already at least 10 feet tall around the entire property so they can't be seen from the road or anywhere else because they're ugly. They're ugly. They're just horrific looking. It's demoralizing. Who wants to live in an area like that? There's that one on, I think it's Goldenville Road, and it's right by this farm. I actually think it's the farm that the 26th Pennsylvania, I might be wrong on this, but the 26th Pennsylvania Emergency Volunteers retreated to, were chased to on Goldenville Road, and then they stopped on the hill where this farm is and tried to make a stand. And right in that area is just solar farms. And it's this beautiful old farmhouse and barn
That's why they
surrounded by
retreated
solar
there. They could
farms.
hide under
They were trying to hide under the solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So anyway, they did allow anyone who wished to approach the screen to see the drawings because they were complaining they couldn't see. So they allowed them to approach and take a look at it. He called for a recess of the hearing at 9:30 p.m. Expected testimony for the second session of the hearing was Tuesday, April 29th. So enter Tuesday, April 29th. Police summoned when solar hearing disrupted. 15 minutes into the second session of Butler Township zoning hearing to consider a solar installation, an unidentified member of the audience interrupted officials conducting the hearing, resulting in a recess and police being called on Tuesday evening. A question was raised about the view shed of the State Route 234 corridor, as mentioned in the county comprehensive plan, when voices from the back of the audience in the Biglerville Fire Hall, where the hearing is being conducted, began interrupting officials. The person interrupted the solicitor for the applicant, Formation Energy, Dean Reynosa, who was objecting to questions from a person who is a party to the proceedings. Reynosa, rather than answer the line of questions, called for decorum. Butler Zoning Board Solicitor Adam Boyer called for those present to respect the structure of the meeting, repeating the rules to those the rules of who could address the zoning board. Only a limited number of people were given status to be allowed to speak during the proceedings. When the unidentified speaker continued to insult Reynosa and then interrupted Boyer, telling him to sit down, he continued his outbursts such as, "This is phony." The solicitor recessed the meeting, gathering board members in the rear of the fire hall. Local law enforcement was called during the recess, and minutes later, Biglerville police officer Joe David entered the room. Police took no action. According to the Biglerville chief, Craig Hartley, zoning board chair Thomas Walter called the meeting to order once again at 7 p.m., and the hearing resumed without further interruption. So I thought that this would be interesting because you and I have also, we've talked about this too, about when it's your property. What are your thoughts?
Hey, listen, if I have over 100 acres, I'm leasing 50 of them to a solar farm. I'm not going to lie to you.
So, like, here's the thing, though.
But here's the thing. No, here's the thing. When I do that, I'm going to be cognizant of, I don't want to look at it. Okay? Even if it's my property, I don't want to look at it. So I'm going to be a nice neighbor, and I'm going to say, but I want to put up Fargan evergreens all around the thing so my neighbors don't have to look at it.
But then they're in
all
shade.
we know.
Huh? No, they're not in shade. The sun is above us, okay?
For all we know, that is in the plan. Maybe they are planning to do. How do you know that?
Because they haven't done it in the 5,000 acres that they've done these farms on anyway.
Farm.
I understand, but I guarantee you they're not interested in being good neighbors. They're not even from here. Listen, what's this place?
Bream
Orchard? The people who are
they own the land. They're the ones who decided,
but they're not putting
to lease it to them.
Right, they're leasing it to somebody else. They're going to go in and they're going to just destroy it. The Breams aren't going to put up trees. Is anybody mentioning?
How do you know?
I know it.
Okay,
because I know it.
I hate it when mom and dad fight.
We're not fighting. We're just doing a show.
What I'm saying
is that what is this, Butler Township? The people in Butler Township fight.
Well, they are. They're all fighting online.
No.
Because
punch each other.
Oh, jeez.
No, don't
what
punch
are
each
you
other.
doing?
No, don't punch each other. But no. Fight it because it's ruining this whole freaking region. That's it. I don't care what the procedures are. I don't care what the decorum is called, what they call for, the decorum they call for. It's ruining their homes. It's ugly. It's stupid.
If you
it's bad
want
for the
something
environment.
else to be done, then maybe these people instead should take their anger and go and help the Land Conservancy of Adams County so that way
I agree.
Maybe they can help with
snatching that land up.
Right.
The problem is, though, that most of these people, I'm sure, don't have the money that if they pooled whatever money they did have together to purchase a piece of land or something or whatever, it still wouldn't amount to a hill of beans. That's the problem, is that you can't compete with the people that own the land and the people that want to put these stupid solar panels up.
Obviously you can. Don't you think that if the owners of the land, though, honestly felt like if they were rolling in the dough and people couldn't compete with them, why would they be leasing this?
It's passive income. Well,
See,
they
I
don't have to
think so.
work the land. They
I
just,
think that what's
no, I'm
happening
telling you,
is that. How do you know?
Because I'm a genius.
Oh,
okay.
Well, I'm glad that you had a conversation.
No,
with the
I'm telling you.
before
Look,
this.
wouldn't you, if you had the land and you're like, hey, listen, farming isn't cutting it anymore.
Isn't cutting it how? That's what I'm saying. Is that they're
We're not
not
making money.
rolling in the dough. They're not.
That's what I'm saying.
You were just saying that
No,
the
you
neighbors
were like-
can't compete with the. Don't say that I wasn't. I
No.
just listened to you.
No. What I'm
Roll the tape
saying,
back.
what
Did you hear
I'm
it?
saying, hold
Did
on.
you hear out of this?
What I'm saying
from a
is that
family
they're
of
saying
divorced parents.
farming isn't cutting it anymore, but we don't want a neighborhood as our neighbors on our property. Hey, let's do this solar farm thing. All we have to, they put the solar panels up and we just collect the dough. And we'll make more money off of that than we ever did on farming, off those 60 acres that ever yielded for us in farming. And we don't have to worry about the weather. We don't have to worry about the pestilence or anything like that. It'll be easier. It's passive for
I
them.
understand what you're
Yeah.
saying now,
Okay.
but that is not what you said.
Because you didn't let me finish.
So in your,
I believe there was a period at the end of that.
No,
sentence,
that was
Brian.
a breath because I was all out of breath telling the people of Butler to fight.
Well, if
your
there is
right to
ever
party.
something that we want to put on our land, I sure as heck hope that none of the neighbors contest that. Because you know what?
0.0.
I guess we should just bow down and not do on our land what we feel we want to do. I'm not saying that they're not ugly. I'm not saying that they're not right or that they are right to put in or that I would want one on my property or that any of these situations. What I'm saying is that we don't know their situation and it is their land.
I am all for private property rights. I am also for being a responsible neighbor and a good neighbor. I don't know if we wanted to put something, first of all, I would never put anything as hideous as a solar farm on
Yes,
our
I
land.
know.
On a roof, I would do that on the roof because the sun receiving side of the house is not really visible to any neighbors because of the trees that block them and it's down. But anyway, so we don't worry. But like if we're gonna put something in the yard, right? It would be a shed or like a Morton building or something like that. They're all over the neighborhood. I've seen them all over the place. There's a precedent set. There's what do you call it? Like where there's something that people will accept. It's there already. We're not going to put anything outrageous out there. These people are putting something outrageous out there.
what would you
Make a
suggest the
racetrack.
farmer does?
Make a mud wrestling pit. 60 acres
He
of
would
mud wrestling.
suggest that I guess they just continue relying on their crop or
No.
sell their land.
I'm
then
not
be upset about
I'm not
neighborhood.
telling them what to do. I'm telling them
What not to do.
What not to do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Telling somebody what not to do is telling them what to do.
Well, then if you can do anything you want with your land, then I can have dog fights on the property.
Dog fights are illegal. Solar farms are not illegal.
They should be illegal. They
Oh
should be
my.
illegal locally. There should be a lot of local ordinances. I don't know. I just think it's
Well,
it's-
maybe there should, but
it's
that
getting out
doesn't happen first. See, this is what I'm saying is that there's due process to everything.
Yes.
You need
Well, I agree with that.
Well, so instead of everybody getting up in arms when a landowner wants to do something on their land, maybe they should do something about the start at the
All
very
right, listen.
beginning.
Do you think these people really know that?
Yes.
You do? They just know to go and show up and bitch and moan that I can't see things. I can't see the screen. Seriously? That
What do
had
you
to be
think?
the most.
What do you think?
That had to be the most entertaining.
And again, I do not like them. I don't think they look nice. I think they're ugly. I think it's a terrible use of an orchard because orchards are beautiful. But
well, and people love fruit.
What do you think?
I think it is hard to tell people you can't do that when I don't know their situation.
Yes.
And truthfully, like, what else do you do? Because, like, I
guarantee you that between now and let's say July,
Mhm.
I will hear you call for someone to stop someone else from doing something completely legal that you don't like. This is what we do. We're Americans. This is exactly what
100%.
we do. Like,
but I'm not going to fight an illegal.
I think the thing is, and here's the thing, this is exactly the answer. The people of Butler Township, the people of Fairfield, the people of Ortana, everywhere around who have driven through, what's the name of that township that's gone to hell? Strabane Township, right? Mm-hmm. That is driven through Strabane Township and has been able to see what these things look like. Mm-hmm. They need to start going to council, and they need to start write ordinance that bans that.
But what does a farmer do?
I don't care. You don't do that.
Okay.
You don't do that.
It's 750 acres, and I would be curious to see where on this land those 2 parcels of 30 acres are.
Okay, you know what? That's a good point. If it's wooded and it's like, I don't know, it's just somewhere that you can't even see it from the road, that's fine. I don't care about that. Do it where you can't see it from the road.
And so my point being, though, that everybody who came to this meeting, they were all yelling, but then admitted that they didn't even know where these parcels were being
because I think they've seen how ugly it is when it's right up on the road all through Strabane Township, and that's what they're thinking in their head. And when they hear it, and they don't want their township to turn into that. And you know what? Again, it's emotional, but like
it does get emotional for people.
But
like
it does because you
when
move
you
to an area because of its beauty,
farmer,
and then they rape it.
But when you're
horrible.
a farmer in this day and age, I don't care what you farm, unless you are in the Midwest and have the gajillions of acres and those big ass tractors, you are not making back.
I wish I could. I should have saved the comment that I saw. There was, and it wasn't on this one. It was on something totally different for another solar farm, or maybe it was the same one, but a while ago. And there was somebody who owned an orchard in, I don't know, Illinois, somewhere like that. And he was talking about how little you are now making on what you are farming.
It's
and
not worth
so
it
it's like,
hey, you know what? Learn to code. That's all I'm going to say about that.
all right.
Learn to code.
Next news
Well,
story.
I before we go on to that, I would like to know what Mike Crotch thinks about it. Mike, you're on the air.
Mike here.
Oh, that was loud.
How you doing, Mr. Raj? How are you?
A bit itchy, a bit scratchy, but I'm good.
How are you feeling?
Just dangling, basically.
Dangling.
That's
oh
pretty
my
good.
God, I can't.
Grant, we all know it's you. We're glad to hear you again. Thank you for calling us. How are you doing, buddy? You had me worried. You had me really worried, you know.
Well, thank you for the concern and everything. There's nothing major that happened or anything. But before we go on to all that, I have to say I really enjoyed the whole environmental debate that went on. I think Cindy absolutely destroyed you, Matt. Sorry.
How?
She's so smart and clever and all that. You know,
just because she interrupted me and wouldn't let me make my point doesn't mean she destroyed me.
The king of interrupting.
Oh.
Yeah, it's my show.
But
I can interrupt.
I think you're coming around. Aren't you coming around to the environmental side now, Matt?
Well, yes, I recycle all my jokes.
But
Well, at your age, you can only remember a certain amount of jokes, I guess.
You know what, Grant? That is absolutely true. Ye, who is 1 year younger than me, it is so true. You can't remember a lot of things.
Wait, 4 years younger.
Four.
Wait, how old?